Hello! Today we're diving into the world of one of spring's most fragrant and colorful flowers, the hyacinth. Join me as we explore how to plant, care for, and enjoy these stunning blooms. Whether you're a seasoned gardener or just starting out, there's something here for everyone. So let's get started. Since these days artificial intelligence is a fad, let's ask it when is the proper time to plant hyacinth bulbs. Today is September 16, 2024, so let's check weather app for daily lowest and highest temperature for a couple of cities around the world. From coldest city today, Yakutsk with temperatures between -1 and 9 degrees Celsius, through London and Tokyo, to warmest city today Djibouti, with temperatures between 32 and 39 degrees Celsius. We have a difference of almost 40 degrees in temperatures in the same day for cities around the world. So something is out of joint here. Clearly, nice people from Yakutsk and Djibouti will not be planting their hyacinth bulbs today. It would have seemed that relying solely on calendar and the date is not the best practice and most reliable marker for when to plant hyacinth bulbs. Now let us jump across the Atlantic Ocean to our nice friends in the land of the free and the home of the brave, the United States of America. To make life easier for home folks, clever people in America have invented something called the hardiness zones. The entire country is divided into 13 hardiness zones, with 2 subzones for each zone. These zones are based on the average annual minimum winter temperature and are divided into 10 degrees Fahrenheit increments, ranging from Zone 1, coldest, to Zone 13, warmest. Again, let's ask the star of today, the artificial intelligence, in which hardiness zones in USA you can grow hyacinths from bulbs. Let's go to Casper, Wyoming, which is in Zone 4, and Austin, Texas, which is in Zone 8, and check weather app for today. We can see that temperature fluctuates wildly, from low 7 degrees Celsius in the morning for Casper, to well above 35 degrees Celsius during the day in Austin. Clearly, nice people from Austin, Texas, will not be planting their hyacinth bulbs today. Since both planting calendar and hardiness zones have failed us, how do we know when it is the right time to plant bulbs, regardless where you live in the world? Well, we will have to rely on the climate and temperature. I live in place which belongs to Pannonian climate. That means that in average we have cold and snowy winters, with temperatures well below 0 degrees Celsius, and extremely hot summers, with temperatures well above 35 degrees Celsius, with sharp transitions between seasons. According to the instructions from the supplier, the ideal time for planting hyacinth bulbs is in period of the year when night temperatures average around 10 degrees Celsius, and daily temperatures do not exceed 20 degrees Celsius. For my region, that is from the middle of September up to the middle of November. Also, since the bulbs take at least a month to start developing roots, planting has to be done at least 1 month before the soil freezes, preferably even sooner. For my region, soil freezes in average at the end of November or beginning of December. To summarize when to plant your hyacinth bulbs, depending on your climate and region of the world you live in, choose a period of the year where night temperatures average 10 degrees Celsius and daily temperatures do not exceed 20 degrees Celsius for at least a month. Also, check your historical weather database for average date when soil freezes. Plan to plant bulbs at least 1 month before expected soil freeze date. Since hyacinth bulbs are covered with toxic powder, before you start handling the bulbs, have in mind that at all times you have to wear gloves. Now that we have established when to plant hyacinth bulbs, it is time to see how and where to plant them. First order of the business is to procure the bulbs. You can buy them in your garden centers at the appropriate time of the year, or you can replant saved bulbs from last planting season. Hyacinth plants come in variety of colors, so choose those you like the most, or in my case I have bought mix of 5 different colors. Bulbs you are planning to use must be firm and without damage. Discard those that are not in pristine condition. I will be planting bulbs in a pot. I repeat again, at all times you have to wear gloves. Although this step is optional, it is highly recommended that you disinfect bulbs before planting them. If you do not know the origin of bulbs you are planning to use, or you have bought them from garden center who more likely than not have imported them from Netherlands, there is a fair chance that your bulbs have come in contact with various biological contaminants that can adversely affect health of the bulbs. I will be using 0.5% solution of potassium permanganate for disinfection. Use protective gloves when handling potassium permanganate. In high concentration, it can irritate and stain your skin. Using high precision scale, measure 0.5 grams of potassium permanganate and dissolve it in 1 liter of water. Mix thoroughly to dissolve all of the crystals. Carefully submerge all the bulbs into solution and leave it to soak for 15 minutes. Thoroughly rinse the bulbs to remove all traces of potassium permanganate. Leave the bulbs on paper towel to dry for a couple of minutes while you prepare pot and potting mix. Again, using instructions from bulb supplier, use adequate pot that is big enough to house all of your bulbs without one touching each other, and that is deep enough to allow enough space between bulbs to develop roots, and enough space above the bulbs to protect them from frost, if you are planning to leave bulbs outside to overwinter. The bulbs are planted 10 centimeters into the ground, and there should also be additional 10 centimeters of soil beneath the bulbs for root development. So, any pot that is at least 20 centimeters deep would suffice. Also, make sure that your pot has enough holes in the bottom for drainage. Now, there is a lot of debate and opinions which potting mix you should use. There is even differentiation between potting mix for bulbs, potting mix for seeds, potting mix for this, and potting mix for that. No pun intended, but that is all malarkey. The only one true requirement for potting mix is that it is not hard, compact type of soil, like soil that is rich in clay. Even if you have hard, compact soil rich with clay, you can always add 1/5 to 1/3 of perlite in overall volume of pot, to amend soil and make it more airy and less dense, helping it for better drainage. I will be using the cheapest type of garden soil I can find in my garden center, and I will add 1/4 of perlite to make it less compact. Nothing more to it. There is no need to go bankrupt on count of enjoying your gardening hobby. So let's fill our pot with at least of 10 centimeters of potting mix. If you wish, you can use deeper pot. I should also mention that beside disinfecting bulbs, I have also disinfected my pot and my potting mix. I used bleach to clean the pot, and I disinfected my potting mix by cooking it in microwave oven and leaving it overnight to cool down to room temperature. It would have seemed like common sense to add some type of fertilizer to the mix in order to help bulbs to root and grow. It is not necessary. If the bulbs are healthy and they have been properly and timely harvested, then they already contain enough of nutrients and all the good stuff for the plant to root, sprout, and develop. That is one of important advantages of starting flowers from bulbs in comparison to starting them from seeds. Plants started from seeds have enough nutrients only to develop first set of true leaves. Plants started from bulbs usually do not require additional fertilizer until after the blooming, and even then, it is optional. Now it is time to plant our bulbs. Take your bulbs and firmly press them into the prepared potting mix in the pot. Do not use excessive force, but make sure that bulbs are planted firmly, so there is no air gap underneath the bulbs. This will prevent bulbs from rotting. You can plant as many bulbs as you wish, but make sure that bulbs do not touch each other. Cover the bulbs with potting mix and press the mix firmly to push out all of the trapped air. You can also tap the pot couple of times to let the mix properly settle. Give your potted bulbs thorough watering. This is the only time you will water your plants, until they sprout, and temperatures rise in the spring, so be thorough. Use as much water as it is necessary, until the water starts to drain from holes at the bottom of the pot. Leave the pot to drain all the excess water out. Empty the tray as many times as it is needed, until there is no accumulated water drainage in the pot tray. To be sure that all excess water has drained, leave the pot for about half an hour to drain. After all of the excess water has drained from the pot, and pot tray is dry, label your pot with name of the plant and date of planting. If you have several same pots, it is easy to lose track which pot has which plant, so label them according to your like. I will place my hyacinth bulbs pot on the balcony, since at the time of making this video, the temperature is in that right range between 10 and 20 degrees Celsius, and the pot will be sheltered from wind and other elements. The pot will remain on the balcony until first snow or frost. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this guide on planting hyacinth bulbs helpful and inspiring. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel for more gardening tips and tricks. Don't forget to hit the notification bell, so you never miss an update. If you have any questions or want to share your own hyacinth planting experiences, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Happy gardening, and see you in the next video.